Hello, my name is Sammy, and I am hoping to help you find the equation of the line through two random points. The equation of the line is given by y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. The line might also be described by the standard equation, uh, ax plus by equals c. We know that the slope-intercept form y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope, as I said, and b is the y-intercept. Slope means inclination, and the b here is the point at which your line will cross the y-axis. We do know from the Cartesian plane the y-axis is the vertical line and the x-axis is the horizontal line. So we can come back here and define x of a, the first number in the ordered pair, and -3 is the y of a. So I color coded these to help you identify the y's from the axis. As you see here, the slope, we have two things that we have to find here for the equation. We need to find the slope. We also have to find the y-intercept. We start by finding the slope, and the slope is defined by the difference in rise over the difference in run. So it's y of b minus y of a divided by x of b minus x of a. It's how far you go up or down divided by the run, which means the horizontal change. It's vertical change divided by horizontal change. You can see here I color coded. The red is the y and the green is the axis. So y of b minus y of a, we can just put down here. Y of b happens to be we gotta be able to write things. So y of b is 10 and y of a is -3. I always like to use boxes or circles because it really eliminates any sources of error. Students oftentimes are confused between the negative that's already embedded in the equation and the negative sign that comes from any possible x's or y's. So by putting boxes, we know that these two negatives already are in the equation. So you can see here 10 minus -3 is the difference in y, and then in the denominator I have 5 minus 2. So we can go ahead and put 5 here and the 2 there. And there you have it. So your slope m between those 2 points is equal to 10 minus -3, or 13. And the difference in x will be 3. So the slope is equal to 13 over 3. Okay? So then we can go back and write this same equation here. Y equals mx plus b in the form in the same format, but we already have solved for the m. So we can just give it a check mark because we already figured out what the m is. We need to find out what the y-intercept. So I can go back here and write my equation. Y equals 13 over 3 x plus b. Okay. In order for you to figure out the y-intercept of this b term, the value of b, you will have to substitute one of these points into the equation. You can use either one. You don't have to use both, but you can use either one of them. I'm going to cross out the a and just use the b. So the 5 will take the place, or will be substituted here for the x, and the 10 will be substituted for the y, and then we can figure out what b is. So we can go back and say 10 over 1 equals 13, which is the slope, over 3 times 5. I usually will write that 5 over 1 plus the b. You can see here that 10 over 1 equals 13 times 5 is 65 over 3 plus b. Okay? I hope you realize that in order for you to isolate the b or solve for b, we just have to subtract 65 over 3 from both sides. So this means that 10 over 1 minus 65 over 3 equals b. Okay? In order for you to subtract these two fractions, you will have to basically find the common denominator. And to do so, we'll have to multiply this denominator by 3 and the numerator by 3. And so you will end up with 30. You'll end up with 30 over 30 over 3 minus, let's clean this, it looks like exclamation mark. So 30 over 3 minus 65 over 3 is equal to AB. 30 minus 65 obviously is negative 35 third. Okay, so we solved for B. B is equal to negative 35 over 3. And there you have it. I can go back now and click. We can go back and just say that our equation to the line is equal to y equals 13 third of x, and instead of b, we're just going to substitute that by negative 35 third. And there you have it. The equation of the line is equal to y equals 13 third of x minus 35 over 3. And so there we go. We already solved what b is. What we can do now is, this is one part of this exercise. The second one is, if I define a point C with an x of negative 4, what must y be in order for this point to satisfy the equation 13 third of x minus 35 third? So we have to figure out what y is for that point to belong to the line. So simple thing, if x equals negative 4, we just take the negative 4 and plug it here. We substitute the negative 4 instead of x and figure out what y must be for this equation, for the y, in order for this point to satisfy the equation. Okay, so what we can do here is we can just say y equals 13 over 3 times, as I said here, the x is negative 4, so I'm going to write that in parentheses as negative 4 over 1 minus 35 over 3. I hope you're comfortable enough to work with fractions, because that's really what it comes down to it. You know, so y equals 13 times negative 4, so negative 52, and 3 times 1 is 3, so negative 52 third minus 35 over 3, and I end up with a y equals negative 87 over 3. Okay, so when x equals negative 4, y must be equal to negative 87 third for this point C to satisfy the equation, and then the point C will be on the line with an equation of 13 third x minus 65 third. Okay, so we can say the C now have a coordinate of negative 4 and negative 87 over